Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. We are back with another quick figure news video. This is going to be a bit of a breaking news video. I have two things mainly to cover in this video. The one is going to be what's the title of this video, because I told y'all in the last figure news video that I made, of course, during our bi-weekly figure news, which you should definitely go check out. It's going to have this big man right here in the thumbnail that I would make a video when he finally was available for pre-order. We got news that he was up for pre-order in Japan, and then finally today we have pre-orders available for him right now. As you can see over here on the US side, he is going to run you about 109 bones, basically like 110, because obviously you got the 99 cents under there. And the only three websites that I have actually seen this guy available for pre-order are Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment. I'm doing the fusion dance with my store names here. Entertainment Earth, which has him for $10 more, which interestingly enough has him listed as January 2024, even though if we go to Big Bad Toy Store, you can see that they are going to be getting him in November 2023. The only other site that has him is Otaku Mode, Tokyo Otaku Mode. This is a website that I used a lot back in the day. I don't use them as much now, because I feel like their shipping prices have become a little bit expensive. But obviously, if any of these different places run out of copies of the figure, these are just three different options that I could recommend to you that I have personally used. Again, the prices on shipping and stuff kind of vary, but I can tell you that you will get the figure if you order from these websites. They have my seal of approval. Interestingly enough, this figure also says January 2024, so I'm kind of wondering if that's actually going to be the US release date, and that Big Bad Toy Store is actually getting them in from Japan and then shipping them out to people in the US, which would kind of make sense, because if we go to the official Dragon Ball websites, which talks about Gohan Beast joining the Figuarts Zero line, we took a look at this website in the last video, of course, looking at all the details of the big bad man himself. You can see that he comes out in September 2023. Of course, that is the Japanese release date. I know it's kind of weird, but the Japanese, like, just information from the JP official Dragon Ball website is basically just imported here and translated for the English version, which I appreciate. But it is kind of weird, because I think maybe as a consumer you would get confused and kind of get the impression that, like, this is for the US side of things, but it's just the Japanese stuff translated. Obviously some of it, you know, like, I was going to say translates, but that's a terrible word to use in this situation. Some of it also applies, that's a better way to put it, to stuff obviously happening over here stateside and around the world. That's not just Japan. But nonetheless, that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of the Big Bad Toy Store getting this in. So if you want him as soon as possible, this is where I would recommend. Again, like I said, I have purchased from all three of these places. So there are probably other stores that have him, right? But obviously I'm trying to give you places that I trust, and I can, you know, give you without a shadow of a doubt that I know it's going to work out in terms of getting the figure. One thing I will say that is interesting is that with this guy, the original price, seemingly, like, from what was going to be the original listed one for English. Let me see if I can find that. Here we go. As you can see, it says 11,000 yen, which is about actually $110. So honestly, I think that's pretty good, because I was hearing some things that maybe he was going to cost more for us stateside here, but it's good to see that they kept with the $110 price tag. By the way, before I tell you if I think that it's worth it, which, I mean, spoiler alert, it is, if you do get it from Big Bad Toy Store, excuse me, I can't say for Entertainment Earth, and I know for a fact you have to pay up front when you buy it from Tokyo Otaku Mode, but if you do get it from Big Bad Toy Store, I can tell you that they do not make you pay up front. You pay when the figure is actually shipped out to you. So if you want to put in your pre-order and then save up your money to get this guy, you can absolutely do so, because they will not be charging you when you actually put in your pre-order, which is awesome. I will say, I think that this guy is definitely going to be worth the price tag of 110 bucks. The Figuarts Zero line tends to hover around that 80 to kind of 100 range, and especially with how good this figure looks, I think that it is well worth the money, especially, I mean, I'm also a Gohan Beast fanboy. So, of course, I'm a little bit biased in telling you that, but I think if you want one really solid Gohan Beast figure, this would definitely be the one, and obviously putting in the money for just one, I think is definitely worth it. The only other thing that I have for you today, thank you for sticking around, by the way. I know that this is a bit of a shorter video because obviously I'm literally just saying, hey, go buy it if you want to. And I'm not sponsored by Big Bad Toy Store or anything. I just use their website all the time. Is that we are actually going to be getting another Gohan Beast figure. Yes, I will be talking about this surely in the next bi-weekly figure news, but I figured I would include it in this video because obviously that video will not be going up for like another 2 weeks basically, or another week or whatever it is. I have my schedule, don't you worry about it. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but regardless, yes, look at him. Holy cow, another Gohan Beast figure. Where were all of these when the movie came out? I don't know. But nonetheless, we have the September prize figure production images for Dragon Ball. And as you can see, we have the boy Gohan Beast himself. Now, this is actually the history box Gohan Beast, as you can see. Baggy confirms it when I asked the question right there, which was nice of him. Which is also from the same line as this orange Piccolo that we saw in a previous video that everybody was going crazy for when I was tweeting about it. I definitely think that Piccolo is probably a little bit cooler. I think that's maybe even an understatement with how they did the fire and obviously the ground below him. Because obviously the aura effect on Gohan Beast looks kind of like a little cheap, I guess you would say. I think the electricity actually does look really good. I would almost want more if I'm being honest with you, but I still think that it looks really cool. However, I don't really know how else they would do an aura effect unless they did it like the SH Figuarts auras that you can kind of just like stand behind them and it's like a big plastic block. So I don't think it's too bad necessarily, but I think that this figure looks great, and this is definitely an expression for Gohan Beast that I believe we have not actually gotten yet in figure form. Obviously, we've gotten like a static expression, we've gotten the special beam cannon now a couple of times, so it's cool to get the smirk that he gets right when he finishes transforming, right? So I am very excited for this figure. Guess I'm adding another Gohan Beast figure to the list of figures I'm going to be opening up this year. This year is going to be full of Beast. But yeah, besides that, we have the DXF Goten, which actually looks really good. This is honestly maybe the best looking out of the DXF superhero line so far. We'll have to see if the actual figure turns out this way, but golly, the shading on this thing looks incredibly nice. And it'll be really cool to have a Goten and Trunks figure in this form. Definitely very nice. Obviously, this is from the same line that I took a look at, the Ultimate Gohan and the Piccolo, right, from the DXF line. So cool that they're continuing it, obviously, with more characters from the movie. And just because we're going to include it, and we'll talk about everything that's in this tweet, we have this bad boy right here, which is the Solid Edgeworks Piccolo. And I gotta say, this is really cool. They have two different versions of him. The Solid Edgeworks line has actually been putting out some pretty big bangers recently. If you guys have been keeping up with figure news, the Majin Vegeta that we recently talked about in the last couple of videos, that was also a part of this line, where it was the Majin one and then the base form one. So for this, they're giving us a Piccolo as he's tossing off the shoulder pads, and he still has the turban on his head, and then of course Piccolo when he's cracking his knuckles, and he's also throwing the shoulder pads off. And of course, I'm sure you noticed, this is an awesome detail that the stand is actually his shoulder pads. That is so cool. I have never seen them do that before. That is a really cool way to make a base, instead of just giving a character a little chunk of plastic to kind of stick on their leg, right? That is a way cooler way to do a base if they're going to do a foot base, rather than something like Gohan Beast, right, where he's just basically attached to like a flat rock. So that is super cool. I like both of these, honestly. I'll have to see some final production images. This kind of looks more to me like Raditz Fight Piccolo is kind of what this reminds me of. And this kind of looks more like Cell Saga Piccolo to me. Personally, I think I kind of like this one better. However, I don't have a Piccolo with the turban on his head, so I may get this one. We'll see how it plays out. But nonetheless, both of them look really cool. And that is actually going to be the end of today's video. I know this was a very quick one, but again, this was basically basically just a breaking news video to go tell you, hey, pre-order this guy, and brand new Gohan Beast figure on the horizon. So look forward to that. Again, this figure will be releasing in September in Japan, so we'll probably get it a month or two later. Funny enough, this guy will be coming out the same month that this guy comes out, actually. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but that is pretty funny to say the least. So probably during that time, for figure news videos, we will actually be getting the final images of those guys when obviously like fans in Japan have them in their hands and we can see the images online. So that'll be pretty cool. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these Gohan Beasts in the comment section below. And of course, links to pre-order the figure in the description below. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.